Okay, and here we are on the Back in Charge Blueprint client success stories this week with Andy Brooks. So, just a minute, I'm going to hand you over to Andy, and he's going to, just introduce himself. But for anyone else that is watching in, they're tuning in, they are joining us. Please, as always, just let us know you're watching. Just give us a little hi in the comments. Let us know you're here. Also, if you've got any questions that you would like to ask myself or Andy about his journey or any parts of the program, please just pop them in the comments, and we'll do our best to answer these as we see them come in. So, what's the time? Good afternoon, Andy. Is the afternoon, Andy. So, Andy, before we get into it, if you can just introduce yourself, who you are, and what do you do and where you're from.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm Andy Brooks, and I'm the MD of Wealth Management Financial Planning Company in Peterborough called Brooks Wealth. I'm in my later 50s. I'm a family man with two brilliant sons, which were half the reason why I came on the program, to be honest. I don't know what else to say at this point, but that's
cool.
me.
That's cool. Nice one, Andy. Nice one. So you've been in the Back in Charge Blueprint for a little while, haven't you? Now, what was the moment? Like, what happened that made you realise that something had to change? Can you remember?
Yeah, I do really. I mean, well, I'm in wealth management, and we've had a hellish few years really with geopolitical changes, wars, pandemics, and crikey, what else could possibly go wrong? And I, when you're in an MD role, you've got a lot of people relying on you. I mean, not just your own family, which is clearly true, but also your staff, by extension, their family, all the clients, their family. And when things get busy, and this time they got really busy, probably the worst time in my 38 years doing this, you get sort of worn out. You start to see life through a different lens. For me, during that period of time, I stacked on an absolute enormous amount of weight because I was tied to my desk 18 hours a day in some cases. And I just sat there, and the dust had finally settled. Many of the big problems had gone away. But I just sort of sat there and I took a hard look at myself. And I'm not new to coaching. I've been through some amazing opportunities in the past to get coached. And I am actually a coach. I coach people on their finances and legislation and what have you. So it was quite natural for me to look for something. I realised I can't turn up for everybody if I'm running at half mast, if it's not working, and especially for my boys, couldn't really turn up for them if I was carrying too much weight, and feeling tired and worn out. Gotta be honest with you, the reason I chose yours in the end was the brand. So the brand said what I wanted on the tin, really. I wanted to get back in charge, get back to the old Andy, really. So I feel I was quite an easy approach because unless you messed it up, I was going to do it. So it was, I came along, we had a chat, I tested what you were going to do, and it seemed right up my street, to be honest. So I just went for it.
That's it. So you was ready. You were looking for something. You knew something had to change, and it was just like it just was at the right time. So so when we first spoke, like you say that you was ready to do something, but did you have any apprehensions about starting, Andy? Did you?
Yeah, of course.
What were those?
They're multifold. I mean, whenever you do something new, and from our discussion, I knew it wasn't new because there's very little new in the world, but it was something that I hadn't really been through before for a long period of time. So I had apprehensions about the work involved because I'm busy. I had apprehensions about whether it was really going to give me the outcomes I wanted because I had a misapprehension at that stage that we were going to run through a process that was pre-formed, and it wasn't going to be quite so bespoke to my needs. So obviously that apprehension was misplaced, because you bespoke it for everybody, and everyone's journey is different.
Sorry, I've muted. It's all Reese just fell off. I don't know what she's done in the other room, but she's fallen over. So I just muted myself then. So yeah.
I'm waiting to hear my son shouting when he's on Fortnite
right.
that he's been threatened.
That's it. Oh no way! I've just got. Do you remember that years and years ago of that politician with that little one coming running in? Yeah, do you remember that? Yeah.
It was golden, wasn't it?
Oh, it was, and now it's just a norm. But yeah, so of course you had apprehensions. You were, you wasn't sure whether you had the time because you were busy and how it was going to work and all of that. But then you decided to jump in. Okay, so you decided to jump in. Now, what reassured you? Do you know? Can you remember? Because it was quite a long time ago, Andy, wasn't it?
It's about 8 months ago now. I just spoke to you, and as I said, I was looking to just understand what it was going to involve, and your answer, which was an honest answer, was, well, it depends on you, Andy. Depends what you want. I'd filled in the pre-form and told you what I wanted. I ticked pretty much every box, I think, which is how I approached buying cars as well. But I mean, the reality was that when I spoke to you, I thought, yeah, this is good, and probably the most reassuring bit for me, because it was important for me to get healthy and perhaps lose some weight, but I was also looking for the mindset stuff as well. And so once you confirmed that was going to be on the agenda, I was sort of both boots in, really.
Yeah. See, but that's the thing, right? The mindset stuff. I'll do it in that, because I don't really like calling it mindset stuff, because it's not like a Jedi mind trick or stuff like that. It's, like, everyone knows that they need to lose weight. Everyone knows that they need to get healthy, but it's this stuff. That's what people don't actually realize they need before they actually get started. And, for you, I think that's for you, looking back at your journey, that's been the biggest results for you. I can, you've lost a ton of weight. You really have, but for you, I think that's the thing that's really, that really helped you the most,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the weight stuff, I'll just segue into that, sorry, in speeding. The weight loss thing, though, was, I mean, I've lost and gained weight a lot in my life. I was the archetypal fat kid. So I have a lot of knowledge around weight loss, but you almost wiped it clean, because for the first month, I think I went up by a kilogram. But what you did was you turned it around, and you said, right, we're not going to lose weight. You're going to eat healthy. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And although, again, it was nothing new, it was presented in a new way. And I must admit, after a month, I went, well, if losing weight is the main thing here, why am I not doing it? And that's when we identified one of my key things, which was, I tend to do everything quickly. I tend to be in a rush for outcomes. And you slowed me right down and said, look, don't worry, it doesn't have to be 12 weeks. It doesn't have to be 1 week that you have to lose. And so you just slowed me down. And that was quite important. And it now means I have control of my weight, because I don't really care if it fluctuates over a week. It's just keeping the basics in place, really. So I think that was quite important. I bring it out because I'd want other people to know that. I would have quite liked to know that at the beginning, especially when I was panicking.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You're not the first person, and you're not last person who wants everything all at once, wants to do everything really fast, and also their weight goes up at the start. That's actually pretty normal as well for lots of the guys. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. So what was your experience like, inside the Back in Charge Blueprint? What's your experience been like? Like yours is a little bit different though, because, like you've come over to Cyprus as well, and we've had that one-to-one personal time as well. Like, what's your experience been like, you know, like through level one, but also having that one-to-one time as well?
I think I think level one, having the process to follow, but it being flexible was really important because I run a business, so I'm used to strategic decisions, and they're really important. Decisions, and they weigh on you all the time, as important decisions do. So the first 12 weeks, importantly for me, I didn't have to make any decisions. It was just go and do this, then next week go and do that, and it all you had to do was comply, or in your words, just go and do the work. But that was really important because giving up control in a way and just going for it sets you free, and it takes away some of the stress of the day to day and trying to make this stuff up on your own, trying to fit rules. Having someone else leading for a while was just brilliant. I know the whole point of yours is that you lead people, but you help them to become leaders. You help them to work out what they need to do for themselves. So it's not strict, but having that process at the start and trusting the process and following it without question was nice. It was a relief, you know. So that was the start. As time has gone on, you and I have discussed things, and I've molded bits to suit myself better. And I've learned to think, well, that's okay. If I do something, if I go and eat a dirty burger, it's no regrets. Go and eat it, enjoy it, move on. It's not a big deal.
That's
But
it.
it also spins over into life as well, doesn't it? So for me, the mindset stuff touches everything. It touches my interactions with my staff. I was starting to feel a bit like I was reactive, and I wanted to get back to planning and doing mindfully. So that was quite important, and that was the big win once I got past the 12 weeks. I started to become more mindful about what I was doing.
Yeah, nice, nice. So, what have you achieved? What have what have been the wins, right? We always talk about the wins, right? What has been like, we haven't got that long, Andy, but what have been like your what have been your wins
I was going
since
to say,
starting the
how long have
program?
you got? Yeah. No, I mean, the big wins for me is clearly I've lost like over 20 kilos now, which means I haven't got a small dog shoved up my jumper anymore. And that's a big win. It was a loss as well because none of my clothes fit me. But the that enabled the why really was that I was running with my son, and I can still outrun an 11-year-old. And um, I'm more engaged with my elder son, and it's also brought my focus back to work. I'm sort of really, I'm really back into planning rather than surviving.
Yeah.
So that was a really big. I've made some changes. I've made some big changes to organise my working patterns to make sure that I'm there more often for the staff, but I limit the time so I have time for the thinking as well. So the big wins for me were that I am back in charge. I'm in control now again.
Does
But
it
for a
feel
while
good?
there wasn't. Yeah,
Does it feel good now?
it does. It does. It feels good. I mean, if people out there, nothing suits everybody, but if people out there are looking for a way just to get their edge back, increase their health, increase their focus, pull back into the joy of their role, I think this could be for them. They should give it a go. At least come and have a chat with you, eh?
That's it. That's it. So we're on a journey. You've been through level one. You're now on level two, which is a bigger picture, and you're part of the way through that. Looking ahead, what what are your wins going to be looking forwards?
Well, as I enter the last quarter of my life, which my elder brothers tell me is one of the best times in life, I'm hoping to make the most of that time. Time is our finite resource, isn't it? I'm happy to keep working. I thoroughly enjoy working. Love the clients we've got as well. I'd miss them all dreadfully if I stopped. So for me, it's about working out how I manage to tick all my boxes. How can I keep working, but keep working at a high level? And that might mean less hours, but because there's no point being half a person for double the time.
That's it.
How will I support my staff in their next part of their journey? How will I support my family in the next part of their journey? And all these things tie up. I mean, I could add financial in there, I guess, because if I'm more focused, the business will do better. But actually, of all the things I've mentioned, that's probably the least important. The kids don't, well, they like money, don't get me wrong. V-Bucks are big in my youngest one as well. But they want a healthy, connected, focused parent, don't they? So, that's my future for as long as I can hold it together. Probably 150 would be nice, but
There you
you
go.
know, we might not make it that far, but I'll take what I can get.
That's it. That's it. Well, nice one, Andy. Well, Andy, thank you for coming on today. I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come and just share what you've done. Share your story of you getting back in charge, like you said. So, yeah, I really do appreciate it. You've done amazingly well, and it's just really good seeing your growth over the last few months as well. So that's really good. Okay.
Well, it's
So
been a
please,
blast, Adam.
no, that's it. That's it. So, guys, if you've got any questions, or if you'd like to know any more about the Back in Charge Blueprint, please just send me a message, and with words "Back in Charge," and we can have a conversation, share the details. And also, Andy, like if anyone sees this and they know you and they'd like some more information, are they right to send you a message as well, just to
Yeah, of
about your
course,
journey?
of course.
Nice one.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure. I mean, uh, well, already, I've put stuff out on LinkedIn, but the reality is, most of our clients come through referral, so they're referred to us. I know you like to work the same way because then people know, don't they? They know that there's value at the end of the road. So, yeah, of course, if anyone wants to reach out to me, have a look. If you want to see the journey, have a look at a video on my website. I was much larger then,
There you go.
so that's the physical journey. Can't afford to replace the video, so I'm going to leave Fat Andy on there. But it's quite nice to look at it and just realise, for that part of what we did, what the change has been.
Yeah, that's it. So nice one. Well, again, thank you so much for taking the time. And please, anyone, if you've got any questions, just pop them in the comments or send us a message.